pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And join me for a moment of silent prayer. Amen. So welcome everybody. We see a couple candidates here for City Council, and we're glad to have you here. And some Habitat for Humanity, thanks for coming. We'll start with agenda item number 3, approval of tonight's agenda. I don't think there's any changes, Matt or Janet. So is there a motion to approve?
So move. Work.
All those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes. Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item number 4 is a time that we provided each city council meeting for residents of Orange City to come and share a concern or express an item that isn't on the agenda. So I'm not sure if anybody's here to do that tonight. Yes, if you want to come up here and just state your name and your address, we usually give you about 3 minutes, so welcome.
Thank you. My name is Colin Brew. I'm here in Orange City, out in 6th Street. I'm kind of on behalf of the library board.
Yeah.
I'm currently serving there. I just want to say a big thank you to the city. Every year we serve thousands of patrons in the library in education, literacy, and entertainment needs, and it's all due to your support. So, thank you.
I have a question for you. With this book supplier, isn't there 3 main book suppliers for the nation, and one is going out of business?
Yes, and that was our main one. So it's
yeah,
a major scramble.
I mean, and then I was talking to the librarian actually from, I know Becky Bilby from Sioux Center too, and she said some of the options, I mean, basically is even just Amazon or where you can get books.
Yeah.
And so, is that kind of what you're working on the? I just heard about it a few weeks ago, and I thought, oh boy.
Yeah. No, Lisa's already kind of scrambled. We have some alternates, some Amazon that's being pulled in. She had some connections with one of the other companies already, so she already got some side plans going. So yeah, it was a big impact. So
I just kind of figured you order them and they come. You know, that's what you hope. But
they do.
I know.
We had all these orders out there, and all of a sudden the company falls. So. And
then those orders are just gone.
Yeah.
Wow.
But anyways, my message was just thank you for this.
Thank you, Colin. Thanks for coming. You have to work with Brett, I suppose, huh? Every once in a while. We can talk about that later. Thanks for your kind words. Agenda item number 5 is approval of the minutes from October 20, 2025. That's Exhibit 1 in your packet. Is there a motion to approve? Having reviewed them, is there a motion to approve them?
So moved. Support.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Department reports. Luke, you're first. Sorry, Kirk. Luke Horkey's going to give us an update on the street department. We do this once a year, and we appreciate them coming in here enthusiastically giving us their report.
You bet. So I always put a little just slideshow together.
Oh, yeah.
Matt's got it up on the screen there. But I'll just kind of take you through, kind of as the pictures come up here. Concrete work like normal. First picture on the left there is from City Hall right outside here. I don't know if you guys remember, there was a grass strip there after the new parking lot was put in, and through Tulip Festival with mud and all that, and with all the rain we had this year, it was just kind of a mess. So we decided to go ahead and put that back into concrete. Middle picture is just an intersection that needed to be replaced. That's on Frankfurt and 2nd, I think. Just a little variety of what we do. The third picture is a picture of a spot where there's going to be a park bench placed in memory of Ed Young. And I believe we worked alongside GCC with some donation money from them as far as the concrete and a few things for the bench. That's not complete yet. The concrete is poured. We just wanted to get that done before.
Where is that?
That would be, so when you come down, straight down where the boat ramp is, it would be to the west of the boat ramp, east of the west dock, so right in between there. So I think Susan was part of those conversations, and Janet helped out with it a lot too, so kind of line that up. So on to the next one, maybe. There it is. Okay, picture on the picture on the left is just pictures of, that's the new sidewalk that went in on St. Paul. I think the street department hauled 230 loads of dirt from the compost pile out to that project, so that kept us pretty busy in between rainstorms this spring with it being so wet, so worked out fairly well. The picture on the right is our new payloader, and I want to thank you guys for that. Stuff's not cheap anymore, so it costs a lot of money to keep things up and going, and our payloaders are on 20-year rotation, so this was actually a used loader that was bought with just a few hours on it that we saved some money on, and we ended up selling our other one outright, and turned out better than what we were going to get trade price for on that, so felt like that whole transaction went really well. So and the next one, just some of our street work that happened this year, and some of this took a back seat to with the tree storm, and I'll get into that in the next couple pictures, but just we make our own blacktop yet, the picture on the left there, and just fill in asphalt streets that we haven't concreted yet. That's still how we fix those. And then we still subcontract out the sealed coating, which is happening on the picture on the right, and we do get involved when they show up with traffic control during the day. When that shows up, it usually takes 2-3 hours, and they can come in and have that done, so can be kind of a mess for a few hours, but it works. So that's how they've done it for a long time. So, okay, now on to the next one. So the night of the storm, we ended up using snow plows to push trees off the street. And we had a tree limb go through the windshield of the snowplow on the left there, just trying to get the roads opened up. So it's kind of a little bit of an image of how interesting that was that evening. And then the picture on the right, throughout the storm, our equipment took a pretty big beating. Our trucks were, I mean, when you're loading branches that are sticking out every direction, and all our dump trucks are used dump trucks when we buy them, so they're needing TLC at the time, and they really took a beating this year. So we doing what we can to keep them together, but we might have to look at down the road here, maybe making some adjustments to how we upgrade some of that stuff. So, because they're the same trucks that are used for snow removal in the wintertime. So. And then, yeah, these are just a couple pictures of, we did end up hiring some additional help with the side dumps for hauling trees and stuff throughout the storm. It was basically, for the whole city, probably all the departments, probably a good 5 to 7 days of work between driving trucks. And I would say for my department, we spent a good month to 5 to 6 weeks dealing with everything by the time we got it, and we're still dealing with it because we have piles out on the runway yet that need to be ground, and like Top Notch is in town now cutting down our ash tree list. So I mean, it just keeps coming and keeps coming, and like right now yet we're still going to the pile twice a day to push just to keep up with everything coming in yet. So it's been a big challenge for our department this year, but we've got the equipment to do it, so it just takes time. And I think this is the third time in my 18 years that we've gone curbside and picked up branches for the residents. This was a little more extreme than the last times, and with the state coming in to help at that time was really nice. I mean, they saved us a bunch of work, so that was nice, and I think we hired one outside contractor that helped for a day, so that did help. But just thankful there wasn't any houses. You know, I can't imagine having to pick through house material aside from branches and that type of stuff. So,
Well,
yes.
just so you know, I've had a lot of people compliment you guys on the work you did.
Yeah.
They knew how long it took to clean up their 1 yard, so
Yeah.
know that you are appreciated.
And I would say that's why when I was talking about the street work, some of the street work probably took a back seat this year just because it was kind of our time when we do our street work, and it was just we were busy doing that type of stuff.
Right.
And then there was repairs that needed to be made on the roads from equipment on them and stuff with the heat and that type of thing. So. And then the next one we got, top left picture is a picture of a piece of concrete that was dumped in the grass pile. And I've really been struggling this year with stuff being dumped in the grass pile that's not supposed to be there. And some of it had to do with closing the compost tree pile. When somebody brings a load of grass/trees out, you can't dump your trees there. So a lot of it ended up in the grass pile, and it just makes additional work for us to have to pick through it all and get things where they need to be. And this was kind of an extreme case with somebody's big piece of concrete they just decided to leave out there, and we found a spot for it. And then bottom left is our Tulip Festival partake. We come in every morning early and pick up all the trash, and there's a lot of that stuff that doesn't get seen by the community that we do, that is something we deal with every year. And then quite a bit of damage on signs this year too, where somebody will hit one and not report it. And I mean, I think like for that stop sign that has a blinking light, stop sign, the pole, and the always sign below it, that's probably a $150 sign. And you know, you just show up to work one day and it's there, and we just fix it, and yeah, there's nobody there to claim it. And the other one was at the compost pile. Just come in there one day and it looks like that, and it's like, man. But signs are really expensive to replace, so, but it just happens, so it's part of it. And then these pictures here, so with the flood at Dunlap last year, the weeds kind of took over. So Noah asked me, I ended up buying a sprayer for the back of our tractor, and I've been doing a little bit of the spraying, like at the Frisbee golf parks and some of them other spots, to try to save a little bit of money for us from hiring it done. So we've been doing some of that, and that worked out really good at Dunlap this year because the grass did take over after we got the weeds killed. And then the other two pictures are both golf course pictures. We helped the golf course out quite a bit. We ended up helping them burn all the roofs this spring. The top picture there, and then there was quite a few trees that they decided to take down, and we worked. They had a contractor hired out to do some of it, to take them down, and we ended up hauling them all away. But it was a couple weeks worth of work out there as well. So, and then that pretty much does it for my slideshow. I've got the snow removal last year was, well, everybody says it was easy, which it was. I mean, it was. We only plowed snow 2 times compared to like 16 last year, I think. And then, but we did go out with the Sanders 22 times, which is probably more than average. So I burned through my sand pile a little bit better than I normally would have. So, but just one of those years where we didn't get a lot of snow, but it was still icy. And you know, usually everybody remembers the big snowstorm, but they don't remember when it was icy for 2 hours in the morning. And there was quite a few of those times. So, other than that, that's kind of what we had this year. So, hope for no tree storms again for a while. But also with the new payloader that we got, we did order an additional grabber bucket. So now all 3 of our loaders will be equipped to do what we did with that, which we haven't had before. So we kept the old one from the old loader. So now they'll fit all 3 of them. So, okay.
Questions?
Thanks, guys. Any questions?
Any questions for Luke?
Very much.
Thanks, you.
Appreciate it so much. Mozzie? For our water and wastewater. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I don't have as many slides, but I just have one. I'll start. You can take a copy and pass them around. They're all the same. Everybody gets one copy. You don't get them all, Brett. So I'll start on the wastewater side, since that's kind of what the picture is. Wastewater-wise, early spring was challenging, like it was prior summer. With, you can keep all those extra copies too if you want to. Sure. With all the heavy rains and all the flooding, we ended up having to do quite a bit of pumping. We had to set smaller pumps out, some of the manholes, to try and keep some of the wastewater from backing up into people's basements. We ended up having to put the big tractor in over at the east lift to try and alleviate some of the pressure farther upstream. It's never what you want. We're continuing to talk to DGR about some of the steps we can take, and they've come up with some ideas, but nothing really that is going to solve any problem in one quick fix. I mean, there are a lot of times when you have that volume of water, there's not a lot you can do. And it's not just us. Every community up in this corner was fighting the same battles. So we keep doing what we can. Some of the issues with that volume of water is all your lift stations are running wide open all the time. So normally, like our east lift runs for 20 minutes, it's off for 20 minutes. And it just cycles like that all day. But when you get that amount of water, I think it ran a month and a half straight, never shut off. So, and then that just puts a lot of strain on your lift stations and your pumps, because in the middle of it, we did have a pump go down. So then we had a spare, so we get it switched, and then it's kind of spooky because lead time on getting a new pump or getting one fixed is 12 weeks bare minimum, which is better than what it was a couple years ago where you were at 12 months when COVID was going on. So we try and make sure we got spares on hand for all that, which in the past you didn't have to do that because you could get stuff turn around a lot quicker. But now with that, we've gotten into the habit of ordering farther out, so we always try and have a spare on hand just so we don't get stuck in a bad situation. So that picture is one of the new battles we've been running into at the lift stations. We've been getting quite a bit of foreign debris in some of the lift stations that people are flushing. I don't know if you kind of know what those are, but so that came out of the Puddle Jumper lift, which is right behind Earl's house. So there's 2 pumps in there, and we had 1 pair in each pump. So we had to pull the pumps, take them apart. We actually called Goodland to come pull it for us. The 1 pump, it shelled out. The other one we could take apart right there, get the debris out of it, get it back together and put it back in, and then we had a spare pump to put in there also. So, but we've also had lift stations where we get rope, twine, disposable wipes. Those are the kind of things that get into a pump, jam it all up, it won't spin, won't pump, and you got to go to a second pump or get it out and get it back in before you start running over the top. So otherwise, the sewer plant had a little spell for about 3 days where the electronics that run it malfunctioned, so it wouldn't run automatically. So we had to recruit some guys and teach them how to run a sewer plant by hand for about 2 days. So they spent a couple nights rotated through. So, and every 24 minutes at the sewer plant, you have to do something. You either have to turn a pump on, move the actuator to decant water, turn a blower on, turn a blower off. It's every 24 minutes for 24 hours straight. So we appreciated those guys being willing to come help us out. Otherwise, that gets to be a long night if you only got 2 or 3 guys trying to do it. So, other than that, on the water side, we are in the process of updating our SCADA, the computer system on both the SCADA that runs the plant, and basically it's the information computer where we store all our logs. They're doing the big Microsoft update because I think we're probably running Microsoft 4 or whatever. I don't know. It's been in there a long time, but we're upgrading that. We're doing that at the water plant and at the sewer plant. We got the new well running this spring. It's been running well, so haven't had any issues with that, which is good. Other than that, the guys spent a lot of time doing their locates, going to the cemetery. I think they visited the cemetery between 60 and 70 times, either marking graves or marking stones. And yeah, we had the big storm. That was not what anybody wanted, because I know Luke talked about all the work it was for them. We were kind of in the same boat. It was worse for us because it was more isolated to the one night. And my whole time being here, this was the only time we lost both systems completely. Lost everything on the sewer, lost everything on the water side. So we got generators going, and then the power came on, so all the generators quit, then the generator power went back out, so then we had to go back and start all over. So yeah, and one night we lost both systems and took twice to get everything back up and running. So, but other than that, that was pretty much our year. Got any questions?
Sounds like a decade.
Do you feel like you're having more debris than years
It
past?
kind of comes and goes. You'll get a little stretch. It seems like you'll get debris like that in 2 or 3 lifts, and then it kind of goes away. It's not very often we get actual clothing in them. Like, it's usually more construction materials. Like a lot of places, wherever they build a new building, like at the college, or if they do something, then it seems like we'll either have an issue in that area where stuff got dumped down the sewer and it plugs a manhole. Some of it will get to the lift stations, not all of it. We've had it a couple times where there's been construction and then within a month or so, manhole will back up or whatever, and then you jet it and clean it and you pull out construction debris. So it's usually rope, twiny kind of stuff that gets in there and it catches on an edge somewhere in the pipe, and then stuff starts backing up behind it, and pretty soon it's a big plug.
So it doesn't happen right away. It can be.
No, it takes a little bit, because it takes, like, same with those disposable wipes. It takes
Yeah.
one to get hooked on something, and then it just keeps building up, and it'll keep flowing to a degree until it gets to the point where it's completely
Yeah.
plugged. And it depends on the usage, because there are some places if flow is low, it'll be kind of plugged, but the water will slowly drain out like overnight, and then you're good for a day, but eventually it gets all sealed up and it won't flow at all. So
What are some of those short-term or long-term fixes for the sanitary sewer system? I mean, what is DGR coming up with for solutions?
we could, none of it's cheap. We were talking adding more lift stations, trying to pick up the water sooner, because right now Delaware is kind of the dividing line. Everything east of Delaware goes all the way east to the east lift, and that's a lot of flow. So there's talk of trying to pick that up before it has to get all the way there, because it makes a lot of turns. Every time you take wastewater and it makes a 90-degree, you slow it down, and then it just spins in the manhole on high flow because it can't get away fast enough. So there's talk of trying to add another lift station farther north or somewhere where Delaware, because it goes all the way down Delaware to 6th Street North, and then all the way east across town. If we could pick some of that flow up sooner to take some of the pressure off the pipes in town and just get rid of the water quicker. But then you run into, well, we're getting more water to the sewer plant faster. This spring we were basically maxed out at the sewer plant. So now if you add another lift, you can get more water to the sewer plant. Now your sewer plant's maybe not quite big enough.
Is some of the infiltration, or is it just all sewer?
We have infiltration because it's a lot of older infrastructure. You know, some of those old clay pipes act like tile lines, and then when the ground gets so saturated, it just starts seeping in all the cracks and the joints. And we've done quite a bit of relining. We're going to do some more again, which helps, but you reline the mains where all the services join on, it just pushes that water. It'll start taking it in there. So there's no quick, easy fix. It's a long, drawn out process. So
At one time we talked about a second force line going across town because we have so much going to the east. Is that?
that's been mentioned. We can do that, but I think you would still end up having to pump from manholes in town because it can't get through town to the lift station fast enough, would be my fear. That's why they talked about maybe trying to pick some of that flow up north of 7th Street or get it diverted out there so it doesn't have to go all the way across to Frankfurt and then all the way back south to like 1st Street before it heads across the golf course and past the pool. They were just thinking the quicker we could get rid of it before it had to go through all the residential area. Because they were thinking if we did that, maybe we wouldn't have to run another force main from the east lift. So you would just have to get it from the new lift if it was north of 7th Street somewhere that way. Run it from there to the plant. So.
Thank you for all you do. My goodness. You work hard. Appreciate it. So, and we just take it for granted. So, appreciate it. Thanks, Ozzy. Agenda item 7 is a time for a public hearing where we have to dispose of city property to Siouxland Habitat for Humanity. Kurt, are you saying anything about that? I'll open the public hearing. Do you have to say anything?
No, it's pretty black and white, so
Okay.
it's just the process of, by resolution selling the lot for $2,500.
And we haven't had anybody come forward
Nope.
or just speak on it from
I
anywhere?
haven't was Janet or Matt.
Janet or Matt? Nope. Okay. So, council have any comments or group out here?
Yeah, they're doing another project.
Yeah, me too. It's exciting. Glad, yeah. So hearing none, we'll go ahead and close the public meeting. Then we need a resolution to dispose of the property to Siouxland Habitat for Humanity. So is there a motion for that resolution? And that is a resolution, so we will do a roll call, and I'll start with you, Brett.
Yes.
Daryl?
Yes.
Olivia? Darren?
Yes.
And Rod?
Yes.
Excellent, thanks. And agenda item number 8 is Exhibit 2, is that in our packet? And now we have to set a date for a public hearing to consider the voluntary annexation.
Yep. Yeah, so looking to set a public hearing for November 17th for the 100% voluntary annexation, not in an urbanized area. Basically what that means is it's a part of town that's more than 2 miles away from a neighboring or city, so it eliminates a lot of the steps. So basically we set it by resolution and we send it to the state, and at that time then it gets approved. So it's a one-time resolution completion. So.
Okay.
So basically it's the property to the west of town, and what's proposed to go there is 10 lots. Looking at RS1 zoning in that area, and then the south part of that area will just remain undeveloped until either this project goes good or he sells it to somebody else.
Okay. So right now, all we need is for the council to set the hearing date of November 17th.
Correct.
2025.
Yep. So much support.
All those any other questions? All those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kurt. Agenda item 9, we've received an application for a special Class C retail alcohol license from the Floral Market. And I'm assuming everything's in order, Janet?
Yep.
Okay. Questions, or is there a motion to approve that?
So moved.
All those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Motion carries. Agenda item 10 is employee recognition dinner. The Iowa State Code requires that we document a public purpose for employee recognition when something of value is given to an employee. The council can indicate by motion that in recognition of efforts of employees to the city of Orange City, you would like to hold an employee recognition dinner on December 17, 2025 and give a gift of appreciation. So we need a motion to that effect for the Iowa State Code. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Great. Agenda item 11 is Exhibit 3 in your packet, and this is a memorandum of understanding and MOU for OCDC partnership. Thank you, Ryan.
So we got the updated MOU, previously updated 2022, so there's a few years where we're updating a number of different things. And you can see if you need to discuss any of the items, it's all in there, but Industry Centrum and Commercial Centrum are the two major developments that the city and OCDC partner with. You've got 6 buildings that we also are in partnership. I'll just list them. The commercial building that Pizza Ranch and Sekisui both lease out, or I should say Pizza Ranch owns and Sekisui leases. You have the spec building on 15th Street that's preparing to be sold, open January 1st. Global Traffic Services is moving out of that. Craft Central downtown, the Hawkeye building downtown, Cortiva building, which is looking at a massive addition to their warehouse space, and then the Farm Service building, the FSA building on Highway 10. Those are the 6 buildings, as well as a new line item, Highland Post lot. That is added as well. After a few conversations with OCDC executives as well as some city council members, just working through the payback of that lot. And I'll just fill in a little bit here. There's a unique adjustment that was made last year where the Industry Centrum lots went from $1.10 a square foot. OCDC agreed to move that sale price of those lots to $2 and $3 on 460th Street, the lots that are next to 460th. That changes basically the agreement, the MOU that between the infrastructure cost and the land cost with the city. So both those got adjusted. And the reason Highland Post plays in here is that this MOU, which we're asking for the city council to agree to, that the payment due back to OCDC for $165,000 for that lot, the Highland Post lot, would be paid back in the proceeds of any lot that's sold in Industry Centrum infrastructure change. So we're going back to the 2022 MOU. The infrastructure payback would be paid in the 2022 MOU until the Highland Post lot will be paid back, and then it goes to the new 2025 MOU infrastructure cost. So there's a mouthful there, but there's a unique change. When we changed the price at Industry Centrum and raised that price, it affected the MOU. So that's what you see there. Other than that, everything else is simplified. Went from a 17-page MOU to a 10-page, just so that we wouldn't get all confused in all sorts of details. Any questions? OCDC execs have reviewed it and approved it, and therefore then the OCDC chair is Daryl. He has signed it, and then it's before the city council for approval.
Any words of wisdom, Daryl?
Anything I missed, Daryl?
Got it all. Okay. Council, thoughts? Motion to approve?
Support.
Any other questions? Thanks for your work. All those
And
in
special thanks to Kent for a lot of work to get the financials clear. So he's not here, otherwise I'd just say special thanks to him. Thank you.
All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, agenda item number 12 is we need a resolution to approve the agreement with the Iowa DOT for the 7th Street reconstruction repaving project discussed at our last meeting. by resolution. Do you have anything with that, Matt?
Not really, no. Upon submitting this with our plans, found that we should have had a resolution, so we did submit it as it was last time.
Okay,
Just,
but technically we need a resolution.
yes.
Okay,
I'll make that a motion.
okay, good. Is there support? And since it is a resolution, we'll do a roll call. And I'll start with you, Daryl.
Yes.
Olivia?
Yes.
Darren?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
Brett?
Yes.
Excellent. And that brings us to administrative reports, and we welcome Matt to the table. We'll see how well he does with his administrative reports. I'm sure, yeah.
Briefly.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, with the transition from Earl to myself, I am actually in Earl's office now, so we'll be transitioning over the next 4 to 6 weeks. And I believe Earl's last day is going to be December 12th, so we'll be kind of partnering on a lot of things and handing some things off that way. So speaking of Earl, he'll be presenting or part of a panel, I think later this week in Ames at a DOT meeting. He'll be talking about safety as it relates to our roundabout, but then also the TEEP study we did on Highway 10. So he'll be part of that, part of a panel at a conference for the DOT. Just a reminder that the elections are tomorrow, so make sure everybody gets out and votes. I believe it's 7 a.m. to 8. Thank you for those.
Yeah. Putting their names out there.
Names, and thank you to Sarah and the Capital Democrat for hosting a forum a couple weeks ago, so appreciate that. We are currently advertising several positions, a couple in the utility departments. We'd hope to have a couple recommendations tonight, weren't quite there, so we'll keep you up to date. Public Works Director has also been advertised as well. Let's see, the I'll hand around the card here. This is a happy anniversary card from Missouri River. Orange City has officially been a part of Missouri River for 60 years, so that's a valuable organization for our community, and our forefathers made some really wise decisions when joining that organization. So
You serve on that board?
I do, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Couple project updates. Delaware and 2nd Street, we're beginning the process to close that out, and since it is an assessment project, there will be some proceedings with that, so that'll be coming over the next couple council meetings. St. Paul sidewalk is, the seeding is perfectly timed basically for that project, so we're looking to close that out as well in the coming weeks. The Vets Park didn't have quite the same timing with rain and everything on the grass, so that'll probably hold off for a little while. Windmill Park, that project is continuing to look great and be a nice addition. I believe the tulips were planted. Looks like there's some stonework for the yards that's happening there, so that continues to make progress. Kurt reported on the sale of the lot to Habitat, and talking through that, we're filling up that area quite a bit with Puddle Jumper 9 and 10, and so we've directed Beck Engineering to begin looking at the next Madison Place and continue to with the next street. I believe there's 24 lots or so on that.
Good.
But that's about all I have. So.
Questions for Matt? Janet?
We were notified from the Ninglenhoven Agency that our health insurance rates are staying the same for 2026, so just reporting that.
Awesome. Way to go. Ryan?
Wanted to share a save the date. November 13th is a Quick Star opening, and would love to have you just stop in and welcome one of our newest members of the community. So
Good. Thank you. Thanks for that. Kurt, do you have anything?
Just kind of an update, because you're probably wondering. RTI building, the former Ned's property, obviously has a Dutch front being constructed on it. There was some miscommunication between the developer and myself and stuff during the process of how it all was supposed to go. But they have been in talks with the Dutch front committee on looks, colors, design. They're trying to tweak it yet to make it, the north side of the building look a little better along Highway 10, adding little features there and with some lighting and signage. So it hasn't been brought to you because it's not a mandatory area where you have to do a Dutch front. It's basically highly recommended for funding. So they're still in the works. So it's going to be kind of like a delayed approval process of what the council wants to provide for that. But I just want to let you know that it is moving forward with the Dutch front committee and try to get a final approval and get an estimated cost, but it'll come in hopefully the near future.
Are they looking at two sides?
Yeah, so
West
the
and north?
main side is the west side, and then it wraps around to the street side, which we had amended that ordinance, a few months ago to allow for that and whatever financing the city wants to partake in on that. So
Good.
just a heads up.
Thanks, Kurt. Jim? Nothing for you? Chief Dan, do you have anything for us tonight?
I just want to let you know your firefighters have been busy the last little bit, so.
Yeah. Helping other communities, that's what we're about. Yeah, so thanks for all your work. Council Brett, do you have anything?
Nothing.
Nothing. Darryl?
Nope.
Livia? Jared?
Nope.
I don't have anything either. Just thanks to everyone. Get out and vote. If you're confused by that, there's a TK amendment from the school on there. If you look through that. Well, it's long. And I was going to read it, and then I thought, I think I'm going to call Mike Mulder. It seemed easier. And I talked to Shane Yeager. It doesn't do anything to your taxes. All it's going to do is gives them more flexibility in how to use their one-set sales tax money and their PEPO money, just how they can move that around or whatever. So it just helps them out a little bit. So no increase in taxes. So they would appreciate a yes vote on that. But it's supposed to be nice weather. We should have a good turnout. Thanks, everybody. We need a motion to adjourn. All those in favor, signify